Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mindy. I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kids. I have a preschooler all the way up through high school. Today I'm going to be talking about Bow's Cloudland, and I'm going to be doing a full review on this. Full disclosure, I am partnering with Timberdoodle on today's video. They sent me this product in exchange for my honest opinion and review of this product. So thank you so much, Timberdoodle, for sending this product our way. This game is primarily geared towards my 4-year-old. However, my 7 and my 9-year-old daughters also really enjoy playing the game because, as you'll see later in the video, the levels get a little bit more challenging as you move up in them. In today's video, I'm going to break this up into like 4 different sections. The first thing I'm going to do is unbox the product, show you all the pieces and what comes with it. Second thing I'm going to talk about is how this game actually has 3 different levels for it. Third thing I'm going to talk about in this video is how there are actually 2 ways to play this game. The last thing I'm going to talk about in this video are the reasons that we really do love this game. So first I'm going to show you what is in this logic game. So it comes with the instructions, nice instruction booklet. It has 12 animals, so there are 2 of each animal. So there are 2 cows, sheep, ducks, goats, pigs, and cats. This is the little answer key, and this is the puzzle booklet. In the puzzle booklet, there are 3 different levels of the puzzles. There are 30 green puzzles. So it starts out super easy just by placing 1 animal. So you want to place it looking from like a top bird's eye view. So there's sheep. Then your child is getting used to finding the piece that goes with it, but then turning and manipulating the piece to fit in there. Same thing for puzzle 3. Okay, puzzle 4 and 5 are where we actually are doing 2 pieces. So you can see that your child is going to be putting those together. And then moving on, now they're still manipulating the pieces kind of in a different, they have to flip them and turn them until they get to be in the right spots there. Okay, and as we go on, the puzzles get slightly more challenging in the green level. So there are 30 green puzzles. When we get to orange, there are going to be 10 of these, and these are a little bit more difficult. They get a little bit more complex. So you'll see that as I'm flipping through these, they're going to be a little bit more difficult. My 4-year-old is not really able to do these without help and without me prompting her. My 7 and 9-year-old can both do these well on their own. And it takes them a little bit with their thinking. Okay, once we get to the red puzzles, these are the hardest in the book. There are 10 red puzzles. My 4-year-old definitely cannot do these yet. My 7-year-old has practiced a little bit with them, but she needs me to help her, give her some suggestions on how to turn pieces or where to put them. My 9-year-old can do these puzzles no problem really, but she needs a little bit of time to be able to figure them out, like this one for instance. This one is a little bit of an easier puzzle just because you can see the outline of almost every shape here. These ones are all kind of jumbled together, so this one is a little bit more of a difficult puzzle. Also, I do want to mention that when you are doing the puzzles, there can be some white space between the characters that is not going to be 100% covered. So let's turn to this one for instance. And so this one is number 54. And you'll see that there is going to be some space between the animals. Like for instance here and here, you can see some white space is going to be visible. So as we're flipping through these here, again, they're going to get a little bit more difficult because their animals are all together here. You can't really see the outline of them. and the middle part, so that's why these ones are more difficult. Okay, this is the last puzzle, and my 9-year-old did this puzzle, and she did really well. Okay, so not only is this a puzzle game, but it's also a stacking game. So there's 2 ways to play. You can play it as a puzzle, where the child is placing the pieces, you're looking at them from a bird's eye view, top down, and you're doing the puzzle. And then it's also a stacking game. So this is like the answer key. Let me get to the right one. Okay, so here is the answer key for puzzle 50, but then this answer key also doubles as the stacking game. So what your child is going to do is take these pieces here and start to stack them. Okay, and this takes a lot of patience and practice and a really steady hand. I've had a bunch of coffee today, and so my hands are not super steady right now, but I will show you some clips of my kids doing them. But it requires a lot of patience, so it teaches the kids how to be patient and how to work very slowly, and really gets them thinking about how they're placing pieces. They need to plan out ahead of time kind of what they're going to do, maybe plan out a different way that they can manipulate the pieces here. Okay, so I'm doing pretty good for having a lot of coffee this morning. All right, and then a cow. Let's see. Ooh, okay, let's see if I can do the last piece. So the cow's gonna go upside down. Really carefully place the cow. It looks like his head is kind of off the body of the other cow, so I'm gonna try that. Oh, okay. And so there we go. There's an example of the stacking game. Lastly, I'm going to show you some clips of my 3 daughters doing this game. I'm going to start out with my 4-year-old who is doing the easiest level, move into my 7-year-old who is doing the intermediate level, and then move on to my 9-year-old who does the hardest level.